I finally got the most recent update for the Leapmotor C10. Well, it's downloading. Let's go and install it. I'll run you through some of the differences, some of the updates, and then we're gonna do a bit of a road test and see if it fixes my biggest bugbear. So LeapOS 3.40.58, it tells us that we should have driving mode and energy mode optimization. That's for the extended range models. I don't have. We're not an extended range one, so you know, it's a hybrid version. Okay, infotainment system startup performance optimization, added fast startup feature, so that would be welcome, of course. UI optimization, improved layout and display of fonts and icons within the infotainment system for a clearer and more refined experience. ACC, adaptive cruise control. That is what I have been waiting for. And lane centering control optimization, improved adaptive curve deceleration for assisted or active cruise control and lane centering control, delivering smoother longitudinal control. Yes, finally. It doesn't say much else, but I know from some other users that there are some other updates. So I'm going to click cancel for a second. We've already updated that. I click on settings here, and if I go to charging and click on vehicle to load, you can see at the moment I don't have a toggle switch to turn this on or off. It just auto detects when there's a V2L connector in there. So let's go ahead with the update now. Estimated update time 18 minutes. During the update you will not be able to drive the vehicle. Please make sure that the vehicle is parked in a safe area. Before we start then, I am going to just move the vehicle just in case, because I don't think
abused in any way by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's.
I don't think the solar system, the solar panel installers would be very pleased if I blocked their vans in for an update. Now that we're parked in a safe place, let's go back to update and let's go for it. Update now. Yes. It's waiting. And okay. The system is updating. Do not operate the vehicle. The system may restart automatically several times during the update. Update was started at 11:30. Well, it did take 20 minutes, but it is successful. So we have now got all of the newest functions, apparently. So let's have a little look here. Hang on, charging. I go to vehicle to load. Yeah, see, it has a little toggle to turn it on and off. Please, please, please. I really hope this cruise control is a bit smoother now, because that for me is by far the worst bit about this car. Okay, unfortunately, a little update, because the latest over-the-air update has come to the Leapmotor C10 and it has broken vehicle to load, as far as I can tell, completely. So here it now has a little toggle on and off vehicle to load. So I toggle that on, and as you can see, my battery is well over the 20%, so it should allow at 83%. It says vehicle to load connector not connected. Oh, really? Okay. Press the button, does nothing. Press it out, in and out, in and out. Okay, so this was the MG one. I've also tried the Kia one, and the Hyundai adapter does the same thing. Now, some people are telling me I need to buy a third one. I need to buy a BYD one. Leapmotor, can you just push some software that updates and works properly? I'm glad to hear that since the update, no one else is breaking down. The car isn't slamming its brakes on the side of the road. But that is super annoying that I've gone and bought these vehicle to load adapters, and now you've changed the configuration in the vehicle so they don't work. It's a bit rubbish, isn't it? driving impressions after getting plenty of miles under my belt, motorway, A roads, B roads, town driving, all of the stuff. It's not much of an improvement at all. There is one area where it improves the cruise control, and that is during cornering. The brake effect when you would enter a corner, even at motorway speeds, was quite aggressive. It could sometimes would bring you down from 65 down to 45 miles per hour on a corner. It was downright dangerous, to be honest. You really had to look ahead, know that it was going to slow you down aggressively, deactivate the cruise control, drive around the corner, put the cruise control back on. But the main problem for me still persists, that it is on and off the throttle all the time. And yes, it's a little bit better if you put it in comfort mode, and if you turn the one pedal driving off, then it is a little bit smoother, but it's still not great. It's still like it's trying to hold exactly 60.000 miles per hour, and it won't leave you any tolerance or any buffer between you and the car in front, or even just the speed limit. Even if there's no traffic around you, it's still pretty poor. I hope another update is coming soon, because this cruise control is driving me crazy, and it is the one deal breaker with this car. Everything else, this car has really grown on me, and I'm actually liking it much more now than when we got it months and months and months ago. And now that we've got 5,000 miles under our belts with it, I love the car, apart from the cruise control. So sort it out, Leapmotor. Since the most recent update, my V2L adapter stopped working. I may have already recorded some footage, I can't remember. But finally, I've got another adapter that should work. Now this one says MB on it. It was ordered to be compatible with BYD, which is apparently now the internal resistance that the Leapmotor is now looking for in these adapters. It's the moment of truth. Nothing. So let's go and have a look on the screen, see what it says. It's a bit warm in here. Automatic seat ventilation just turned on. Vehicle to load. Okay, right, I've toggled that on. Let's go have a little look. Oh, I heard a noise. I heard a noise. There you go. We're taking 1000 watts out of that charge port through the adapter into this power station. Nice. All is not lost. Okay, a link for this new adapter will be in the description below, and I can't remember how much it cost me on Amazon. It was something like 30 quid or something. I think that's probably worth it for the convenience. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching this far. What do you think about vehicles having over-the-air updates that can fix a few things but can equally break a few things? Let me know what you think. It's a bit of a hassle, isn't it? Okay, do we think that the Isle of Wight is the perfect place to own an EV?
Yes,
because
maybe.
We left our house and drove from Southampton to Portsmouth on the M27. We've driven around the island all week, and
we've not driven loads. We mostly walked.
Well, we've driven 145.6 miles, so we've driven 120 miles on the Isle of Wight, because we did 25 on the mainland. We've averaged 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, and yes, we've been driving for 9 hours 19. Now, because this is silly, we have to go over here and go charge it. We've used 2/3 of a battery. We've still got 1/3 of a battery left. I think that's pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah. Maybe.
Right.
I mean, it's certainly not going to be the same when we go to Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland will definitely be harder because we'll be going faster on motorways.
And going so much further.
and you'll all have more stuff for who knows what reason.
Why would we have more stuff?
I don't know. Go to Scotland. You need more stuff in Scotland.
I do think I need
4.2 miles per kilowatt hour, 9 hours 20 minutes the car's been on, 145.6 miles, and we have a range remaining of 82 miles, 34% battery. And we're going to do a quick top-up charge while we go bowling, okay? This is our charging situation here on the Isle of Wight. They have quite a few chargers, and there is a rapid charger over there, but that one's like 80 pence or something. This one's like 50 pence per kilowatt hour. And I'm testing out now the AC charging on three phase. So you can see the Leapmotor, it comes with a big, hefty, chunky 3-phase cable. And I can't see any ratings on it. This says that it's 3-phase, so 480 volts, 32 amp rated current, big chunky cable on here. Got it plugged in. You can see the skinny little Type 2 leads. So it's good that the Leapmotor comes with a big hefty one. Nice handles, nice connectors. We're currently just charging at 11 kilowatts. And I can't remember exactly when they changed the hardware, but I know on the later versions of this car, it's fitted with a 22 kilowatt charger on the later hardware, but mine might be too old for that because this might be on the older architecture. I think it may limit just at 11 kilowatts. So in this case, the restriction is not the cable, it's not this charge point, because this can do up to 22 kilowatts. And although there's one plugged in next to it, this car next to me, whatever this is, a DS something. Okay, I'm waffling on too much. Thanks for watching. Like and comment and subscribe and blah blah blah. See you again.